So, good morning. I just wanted to share some sites that I find really useful, and hopefully it might help us in our work throughout the week. The first one is called futuretools.io, and Matt Wolf has a thing called Matt's Picks down here that I'm clicking. And out of 2,900 tools, he's got about 168 tools that he likes, many of them focused on doing visual creation. The second site, of course, is just the OpenAI site. We should all know that hopefully by now. And on the OpenAI site, you need to log in to ChatGPT if you want the premium service. I use a lot of ChatGPT and DALL-E, but if you haven't spent time exploring GPTs, there's a ton of them, and actually there's some changing ways that GPTs are going to be presented. But one of the writing tools here that's actually really interesting is Write For Me, the Humanizer, and then some productivity tools that are built into what used to be called the GPT store, right? The third one is Gemini. This is the Google choice. It's something I use a fair bit. The Gemini, I find it works really well for doing IDE. So if you're doing development, I find this is probably my favorite tool for development. Claude is Anthropic, but is kind of the AWS big bet. And Claude tends to be very good at sounding like a human versus OpenAI, which doesn't sometimes. I use Beautiful.ai. It's actually really an interesting tool for building a quick presentation. We're actually going to use that some today. I also use something called InVideo.ai, and we're probably going to generate a video as a part of our brainstorming session at the end of the session. And then just a kind of a fun trick, I have something called Buffer, which manages my social media presence for AI, and it's something that we might think about as one of the first tools that you use. So hopefully these will be things that will kind of inspire you to think about. Buffer allows you to connect all your social media accounts to each other. You have a calendar, you have some ideas. The most interesting thing is when you have an idea here, when you talk about how to pitch a new AI startup, and then our target audience is Fortune 1,000 globally, maybe something like that. And so it does, it creates a post from these ideas. We can select our channels, we can add those to the queue, and then it actually creates some pretty interesting content there. Anyway, so some stuff to talk about. I'll see y'all later today. Thanks a lot.